All right, John, thank you so much for taking the time to meet for me today. This is for my internship, conducting an interview to learn more about people's experiences in college and what drives them and how they stay motivated, and pretty much like what advice they give to future students. Or I'd love to hear you what made you choose your major and what inspired you and why you're interested in it.
Yeah, I'll just give like a big little intro of myself. I'm Jonathan Lopez. I go to New York University. I'm a senior, so class of 2026. I'm the lead office assistant at one of the residential dorms, and my major is history, on the pre-med track with a minor in medical humanities and chemistry. Um, and at first, so I wanted to go into medicine. So my first 2 years of college, I only had like a track. I didn't have like a major. So I was just following the pre-med track, doing like classes like that. And then eventually, end of my sophomore year, I declared a history major. Um, just because with like medicine, you can declare any major you want as long as you take like the prerequisite courses. And I really liked history a lot. I did a lot of like history classes in high school, like AP government or AP US history, as examples. But I also think that medicine ties well with history because we use a lot of methods like back then, or like we study like Western medicine, we study like the history of like Mandarin medicine, ancient medicine to help evolve like new techniques and new methods that we rely on the past, like from past experiments. So that's why I chose like history as my major, but technically I want to become a doctor, so I consider like the pre med track as like my second major, like a double major.
That's great. That's great. I'm really interested in that, and I'm very happy for you, John. I'm glad that you found something that you love doing, and it sounds like you're very involved. That's awesome. Um, so was there like a specific class or a moment that made you realize like this field is the one I wanted to get into, like that just like stuck with you?
And I guess I could say that like it was really well instead of like like class in college or like class in high school, like
Mm.
or like which
Uh,
one.
or just like what makes you like what makes you enjoy your major so far? Like what's making you enjoy it?
So so we learn like a lot of sciences in our major, or like in like the pre-med track and in the major. So like in the history aspect, I like learning about like Latin American history and like their like ancient medicine, or like how like how their like diseases like from the Europeans killed like a lot of the Native Americans, like stuff like that in the history aspect, like we study.
Hmm.
Um, like syphilis like is a common like disease that's studied like an ancient disease. And then like in the pre-med aspect, like I love doing like chemistry, like if general chemistry, organic chemistry, physical chemistry, thermodynamics chemistry. I prefer it over biology just because I really like working like in the labs, like at in New York City, I work with like NYU Langone, which is like a research lab, and also like the hospital. And like I do like some like little chemical like experiments, like mixing some stuff or like mixing like placebos, which is really cool. Um, and I feel like that like I've always liked working in a lab, especially like in like my classes like at NYU. Like a lot of the sciences they have like a lab section, and I usually tend to enjoy that more than like the lecture because I feel like I get to learn and like see these real compounds like that certain people like won't see like in their lifetime, which is pretty
Yeah,
cool.
makes sense. I like that. Working in a lab is definitely interesting. Takes a lot of focus, you know. Like what motivates you to what motivates you to stay working so hard, whether it's like personal goals, family support, or something else that like pushes you to stay focused?
Um, for me, like I just like I have like a mission in life, like I want to like help as many people as I can because I feel like that like when I was like in high school, when I was in middle school, high school, a lot of teachers and like the community of like our hometown, like Southold, they really helped me a lot to like believe in myself, and like they gave a lot to help me grow as a person. Um, I remember like I used to not care about school and like wasn't very studious at all back in like elementary school. But then as I matured on and like graduated high school and graduated and like about to graduate college, I like take it much more seriously. I care about my grades. I care about the extracurriculars I do. I care about doing community service. And like I try to find time for like everything. Like most of the time my schedule is always like packed every single day. Um, but like what motivates me is I just want to like give back to the community and like for parental support, like I my parents like they obviously like immigrated here, and they want me to like get like a better career than what they have to go through because I have more opportunities. And I also want to like help them when they're older, just like how they helped me when I was like a little kid. And like I see them help their parents too, even though they're thousands of miles away. I still see them, still trying to like always help them, like give them financial aid, like and stuff like that. So I want to be able to do that too. Not only just help the community, but of course help my family, and
I
of course
love that,
friends too.
John. Sounds incredible. Love that. Very generous, Johnny. And next I want to talk about college always has like hard classes that come along the way, and like if you ever feel like overwhelmed with schoolwork, like how do you handle that? And like what's your advice on handling that?
Um, there are a lot of moments, and especially on pre med, like where like that's like really it really gets to you. For me, like I always liked going to the gym or like at first, like when it's like really stressful, like when I if I just heard about it and like it's giving me like like stress. Um, I like to go to the gym. I like to be alone at first, so like going to the gym is a quiet setting, or like just like lay down in bed and like think for like a quick second. Like my first, like when I get stressed, I usually have like two phases. The first phase is I want to be alone and just like think about it, and then I have a second phase where I uh now vent it out to somebody. Like a few times I've talked to like teachers that I connected with in college or like teachers in high school, like my coach for the varsity soccer team. Like I would vent it after. I would vent my stress out to see like if it's an actual issue, like if it's like gonna go away, like or like how can I like I look for like advice. I that's why I have like two ways to deal with stress. First, do like an activity where like you just think about it, and but like also like not too crazy where it's like interfere with like what you're doing like during the day. And then the second is like to vent it out to somebody because sometimes a lot of people when they're stressed they just keep it in and bottle it in, and it's just like it's not really healthy. And I've learned that like freshman year like of college that like that is not healthy, and that I should like vent it out to somebody like a friend or like a teacher that like you can count on that you could probably get advice from.
Mm,
I think those are like two ways to really help. It's like thinking about it is like taking in a breath, and then venting it out is like taking out a breath. That's how like I like cope with like stress.
that's awesome. Good advice, John. I like that. I know I've had some hard courses myself, and sometimes when I have like a boatload of work during the week, it just like sticks up in my head, and I just get like so frustrated. And then I just like you said, like going to like do like an activity or working out, and then just like trying to get it all done within like the next couple days, slowly but surely, but getting it done by the deadline. And it just feels like so rewarding at the end of the day. Like once you get all that stuff done, you can just, you know, go for the next thing that you need to take care of. And it's awesome. It just feels good when you're on top of things.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. 100%.
And next, looking ahead, I know your ultimate goal is to be a doctor, but what kind of doctor would you like to be? And like how does your major connect to that goal? And what steps are you taking to prepare for it?
Yeah. So I I want to eventually become like an orthopedic surgeon. so deals with bones, and like like I said, like a lot of like the things that like mix with like my major, like history and medicine, is that like a lot of like the like diseases that we study in like medicine, like even like COVID, for example, like that's history, like it already passed. And like we and a lot of doctors they like study like epidemics like that so that they can
Hmm.
like see like what vaccines they should publish, or like if they need to update new ones, or like something like that. um but like I want to like work more in like surgery, where like cutting people open, or like fixing bones, breaking bones. I don't flinch or like ever really like feel nauseous when I look at like blood, or like inside of a human body. Like steps to like prepare for that. I did like internships like with Stony Brook, like back in like our hometown, and I would go to their hospitals and like emergency rooms and like see like open wound cases a lot. Obviously, I wouldn't be able to like help them because I'm not a medical licensed doctor, but I was
Hmm.
able to observe and like see if this was really the environment for me. Um, so I basically tested my fear to see if like I was like actually like like lighthearted or like really faint, but I'm not. And then the next steps now, like to try and prepare for like medical school, I gotta like take the MCAT. I'm probably gonna take it like in the winter. I've taken all like the prerequisite courses at NYU. So basically, I'm done with the pre med track. It's like 10 classes, 11 classes they have to take just to like, and it's all basically like what's going to be on the MCAT. And I think NYU does a pretty good job of preparing like very hypothetical scenario questions when it comes to their midterm. And then yeah, once I get my MCAT score, I'm also like applying to like medical schools right now, like for like the fall next year and like fall 2027. I'm applying for both cycles, and I'm choosing a lot of different schools just because I don't really know where I want to go yet. Like if I want to stay in New York City, or if I want to like go like rural, but I definitely plan to stay in state if I can, just because of financial costs. Currently being on a full ride at NYU is great, and I'm trying to maintain debt free like in medical school too, but it gets a lot harder as you go up like graduate school, so I feel like I might have to concede some debt, but other than that, those are like my next steps. um like what the future has for me, I eventually want to do like free surgeries like later on. Like there's programs called Doctors Without Borders, where they go to like third world countries that have no access to medicine, and they basically like they practice medicine or like give medicine to like these kids or like these families in need. So I feel like that's something that I want to eventually, like my end goal. Um
Awesome.
yeah.
Well, that's a great angle, John. I really wish you the best of luck. And to wrap things up, what advice would you give to someone who's about to start college? Maybe, could be somebody going undecided, or they have their mind set on something. But I know we all like, I mean, I came into school kind of undecided, and I know you came into school probably having an idea of what you want to do, so it's a little different. I'm sure we all have like the similar um ways that we both started, and like what advice would you give me?
I mean, yeah, it's like you said. I kind of came to NYU like I knew what I wanted to do, but it was more like I was kind of undecided with the major. But gosh, there's a lot of advice that like you could give, and like I don't know if this is the case for you, but like I'm like a first generation student. So for me, like walking into college, like I had no idea what I was going into because my parents never went to college. They have no idea how the culture is. I didn't know myself either. And I feel like that my freshman year, I really wish I could have like not been so like fearful or like withheld like a lot of like my intent, because I feel like freshman year, like you should definitely like be involved and like explore all the opportunities you get. I feel like that's honestly the best advice that you could be, or you could use, just because you don't want to like, because opportunities they come and go. Sometimes like they pop up multiple times a year, sometimes once in a lifetime. And I feel like that at like students, when especially first generation students, they come in so nervous, like, and like these schools are like NYU is like a huge school, like it's probably bigger than like the school that they went to before the high school, so or like wherever they came from, you know. So I feel like that the best advice that they can like use is to literally like try everything, like don't be afraid. um Even if it's something you don't like, maybe try it. You might rediscover it and see that maybe it's not bad after all, you know, because I feel like, and especially in like New York City, there's a lot to do, there's a lot to explore, and a lot of opportunities always pop up. And like I feel like a lot of people and like a lot of student success at NYU is from connections and from people that they meet outside, like randomly on a random day, or like connections like that they establish like from the beginning of college, and it sticks with them until seniors. So I feel like that just basically when you start college, start trying everything that you see. Obviously with caution, of course, too, but like but don't be afraid to like make bad decisions, or don't be afraid because you've never done it before, you know, because like you never know, like something good could come out of a scenario. But also like
Yeah.
be smart about it, because like, you know, in New York City, the environment's very different compared to like, you know, where you go to college. So
Yeah, I agree. Networking is huge in college and it's huge in your life. Like really can determine whether or not you get your dream job or something else, or you could find something that you thought you would never like, you know?
I
And
agree.
it's very important, very important. Well, that's all the question I have, John. Thanks for so much for sharing your time and your experience. Really appreciate it. You're gonna help this interview a lot, and I appreciate your time, John. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure, James. Talk to you soon, all right?
All right, take care.